Hey folks, I'm Labron Allen, the founder of the Natural Health Clinic, and today we're going to discuss the most inflammatory food on the planet. Stay tuned. It'll be right after this. Welcome back. So, vegans. They say animal products are bad and they cause every kind of disease, right? And then the carnivores say that plant fiber is bad. So it becomes very confusing. You start looking on the internet and one side says this, one side says that, and it seems like no matter what you do, it solves some kind of problem. So it becomes very, very confusing. Well, it's true that many plants do have anti-inflammatory properties. There's milk thistle, nettle, turmeric, there's many ginger, there's many different kinds of plants and roots that have anti-inflammatory properties, no doubt about it. So, why is it that some people do better with mostly or maybe all meat products, and then some other people do better with plants? What's going on? Well, a lot of inflammation that people deal with originally begins within the gut. Now, there are two things specifically that humans cannot digest. The first of those is fiber, and the second is gluten. Now, the thing is, though, just like I said, people eat vegan, people eat carnivore, it's very confusing. If you go online right now and you type into Google fiber, you're going to find probably hundreds of studies that show that fiber is actually anti-inflammatory. So why am I saying that the body can't digest it and that it may be problematic? What's going on again? So what I would like you to do, maybe not right now, but immediately after this video, is type into Google unfermented fiber. And what you're going to find is many, many hundreds of studies that show unfermented fiber causes inflammation. So what is unfermented fiber? Well, put simply, it's undigested fiber. So if a person is eating a lot of fiber, the body becomes incapable of digesting it, then it cannot ferment. That is the way that the body deals with the digestion of fiber, is through a fermentation process. So when you have this unfermented fiber, that starts promoting inflammation. So, unfermented fiber is inflammatory. Now, why does a person potentially start having problems with being able to digest fiber? What is causing this disruptions? Well, most likely it is some type of dysregulation within that individual's microbiome. So what causes that? Well, we all know that antibiotics cause issues with the microbiome and the microbes within the gut. In fact, antibiotics can kill up to 80% of the microbiome. Think about that statistic for a moment. However, the second issue is that this problem with the microbiome actually starts at a very young age. In fact, it could begin even in infancy, depending on how that infant is fed. Are they breastfed, which is full of microbes and metabolites that help the baby get used to the foods that are within that family, eaten within that family? Or is that infant fed baby formula and eventually as a toddler, which most children are at this point, fed ultra-processed food? So now we come to another major problem as far as what disrupts the microbiome. This ultra-processed food. Now, the ultra-processed food is made up of about 4 different main things. Now, of course, there's many different things within ultra-processed foods, right? You can just see by the chemicals. But there's 4 main categories of things that really tend to cause or upset the microbiome, and that is ultra-processed flours of all kinds. So it could be wheat, it could be oat, it could be corn, it could be rice, it could be this, it could be that, soy flour, just ultra-processed flours. Sugars, of course, industrial fats of different kinds, and glyphosate. So glyphosate is actually an antibiotic, and it kills microbes within the gut just like any other antibiotic. So after these things cause enough damage to the microorganisms within the environment of the gut, within the biome, we simply cannot handle that fiber, and it no longer ferments. So it becomes unfermented, and this unfermented fiber starts irritating the lining of the gut. Now, if this problem continues, what eventually develops is, you already guessed it by the title of this video, inflammation. So the disruption of the microbiome by these ultra-processed foods is what causes the inflammation through disruption of the organisms within the gut. Now, just as a side note, tobacco companies, remember them? Now, most Americans actually don't smoke, which is a good thing. But in the day, back in the 1950s, early 60s, tobacco companies were huge. They were some of the most profitable companies in the world at the time. Maybe they still are, I'm not sure. But back then, they definitely were. The CEOs in the late 1950s, 5 of the 5 major tobacco companies met together in a hotel lobby, conference room. And what they were doing is they were trying to figure out how to stop the bad publicity that they were getting by, at that time, the information coming out as to how bad smoking was for an individual. And the main thing that they came up with is a information program or campaign that would create doubt. And the idea was that as long as there was some doubt about the information, the studies coming out, then they could deal with that. People wouldn't necessarily completely believe the facts that the scientific studies were showing because there was still room for some doubt. Now, where I'm going with that is that these major tobacco companies actually purchased and own many of the major food manufacturing facilities in the country, even down to this day. And they use the same kind of publicity campaigns in order to create doubt in the minds of their consumers so that they don't really fully believe, fully comprehend how bad their product is, probably even worse than smoking cigarettes. And I'm not kidding. Ultra-processed foods are likely far worse than smoking cigarettes, in my opinion. So, what is the most inflammatory food on the planet? You guessed it, ultra-processed food. So I hope you enjoyed this information. If you did, please like, share, comment on the videos. It's the only way that other people will find this. If you share this video with your friends, that's a huge favor to us. Thank you very much. And if you are looking for customized, designed health improvement program just for you and your physiology to match your goals and to meet your goals and help you step by step, one-on-one in your journey, that's what we are all about at the Natural Health Clinic. We create customized, designed total health restoration programs just for you, the individual. I invite you to get an appointment for an initial consultation, and at that initial consultation we can identify if indeed we can help you and work together through a total health restoration program to help you meet your goals. Once again, I am Leigh Brunellen, the founder of the Natural Health Clinic and